This is my motivational video. Today we'll be looking at lies you've been told. Welcome to my YouTube channel, a place where all future millionaires come to get inspired. What if I tell you that ever since you were born, people have been lying to you? You'll probably say this is preposterous or I have some sort of an agenda. But the truth is, people have been modifying the truth for ages. People have been modifying the truth for personal gain and justifying by saying they're doing so to protect others. These are not so much lies as well as deceit. Sometimes people just put it this way because they can't explain it otherwise. I would advise that you go through this video with very open mind and remember that every case varies from person to person. I've done my best to put together a list that will apply to most people. Go through it and see how valuable this information is to you. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow me on Facebook and TikTok. I remain your humble boy, TerryForch from the roots. Here are 6 lies that you've been told. 1. You need to go to school to be successful. The West has already figured this out. It's the East that somehow remained behind in getting some education across their population. As long as you know how to read and write, you can access vast library of information. There is no longer a need to know every river in your country by heart, except you're planning on going on a river naming contest or planning to become an advanced mathematics teacher. School is supposed to be a place to acquire knowledge, but in developed societies, they've already moved away from that. Big tech companies no longer require you to say you have a piece of a paper that you wasted many years of your life copying and pasting things from Wikipedia. Instead, the world is now centered around how much value you can provide to us. Success comes from being valuable. Becoming valuable is accessible to everyone with an internet connection and a device. The book that makes the biggest difference in our life is called The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which perfectly breaks down the myth of going to school in order to be successful. Number 2, slavery is dead. How many of you definitely think that slavery is dead? I know I'm trading on a dangerous zone just mentioning the S word. But let's give it a shot anyway. We're talking about slavery, but I don't think about it in a metaphorical way. Ways that large companies make you trade your time with small amount of money, or just merely keeping you afloat with the changing economy. We are talking about slaves. The world has forced over 40 million people into slavery or put them into a position where they have to practice slavery themselves. The numbers are probably higher than that, but people are not pushing out statistics on what is happening in the black market. In the US alone, sex slavery is a multi-billion industry and it's growing rapidly. Human traffickers earn over billions and hundreds of billions of dollars a year for trafficking children around the world. According to official figures, worldwide trafficking is the second most biggest criminal activity after drugs in the world. To have your mind blown, these are the countries with the highest numbers of human trafficking. Number 1, India. Population in modern slavery over 14 million. 2, China. Population in modern slavery over 3.2 million. Number 3, Pakistan. Population in modern slavery over 2.3 million. In North Korea, 1 in 10 people are in a sort of a slavery camp, mounting to a population of about 2 million. These people are worked until they die in mines and fields, and the list sadly goes on. This is one of the topics we never really think about, but so many lives are devastated around the world because of this. If you take interest in this, you can at some point do a video dedicated to criminal industries and share some light about this. Number 3, only lucky or bad people get super rich. This is how the lazy justify their lack of results. When I say lazy, I'm not solely focusing on those who do not put in the physical work. Being lazy has a lot to do with resource management. How well you plan things, how well you prepare yourself, how you educate yourself, how you position yourself, how hardworking you are, and how you communicate in order to get your results. They never talk about the sacrifices or the trade-offs which people make in order to get to where they are. People simply can't accept the fact that other people are smarter, have the ability to adapt, and a better understanding on how to run the world than they do. That's why when they face with such a situation, they're quick to attribute their success to an external element, such as luck, because to them it's an unbearable thing to think that you were not even good enough to achieve anything for yourself. This type of reasoning is embedded in people since they were young from maybe their unsuccessful parent. And this kind of mistake in mindset have exponential effect as time goes by. I did make a video on 10 mistakes young people make. If you haven't seen that video before, please check it out. It can literally change your life if you're aware of the small changes you can make when you are starting. Number 4, your religion is the true one and everybody else is going to hell. How lovely. Can you feel it? That rage that you feel in the air that comes from people who are certain enough that they were born into this one true religion. This is not a matter of geography at this point. There is a place of spirituality in everyone's journey. And we believe there are incredible valuable lessons and tools you can take away from religious books and practices. What I don't really get accustomed to is the need for separation and disregard for every other religion that isn't your own. Religion has been used by people to cover the problems of everyday life and then used by organizations to further their political agendas for personal gain. People have been using religion to declare war on others for centuries. Lately, religion is becoming less spirituality and more like an enterprise. If you remove your own biases and look at the activities of the big religion players with fresh eyes as if you've just discovered them, you will be in shock. The Catholic Church is exempt from paying taxes. Preachers buy private jets to spread the word of God, as if there's no other historic evidence that shows that the Catholic Church at times is the biggest pedophile ring in history. But despite all that, they are still thriving. Islam's mission is to rip the world of any other religion, as we've recently seen extremist organizations take the book way too seriously that probably do not longer make sense in the 21st century. They're actually on track to take over Christianity in the next 30 years. Just look at the stand most religions take towards human rights or women's rights and the freedom of thought and science. It's even a correlation to prove that the more religious a country is, the less educated and poorer they are. If you check the comment section on this video, you'll probably see that people might not be sharing love. If you are curious to know which of the religions are the top in the world right now, please let me know in the comment section and I'll produce a video on this. Number 5, family should always come first, no matter what. Family is important, and usually it is the most important thing that you've ever had. My problem lies with the no matter what part of the statement. If you pay attention, you might identify some toxic behaviors in your family. These usually happen at times with strict parents who are also self-centered. Sometimes your family could be the main thing holding you back from reaching your potentials. If this is the case, you first try to educate them and see if there is room for improvement. Or you may need to cut them out, but maybe not completely in your life. But position them so that their impact in your own life is minimum. Parents should raise strong and independent children who can tackle the world on their own. By being overprotective and not allowing your child to grow, you are actively doing them a disservice that will have huge impact in their life as time goes on. Here are some examples of toxic beliefs. If you have a family, check some of them. 1. Children should respect their parents no matter what. 2. There are only 2 ways to do things: my way or the wrong way. 3. It's wrong for children to be mad at their parent. 4. Your parents are always right. 5. As long as you live in my house, you must obey my rules. And on the opposite end, you have those who never allowed their children to grow. 1. Don't never stop needing me. 2, they buy their children anything they want. 3, they solve their children's problems for them. And so many more. Both parents and children are human. They will make mistakes. But hiding it under the rock doesn't solve any of it. It just makes every party resent each other because deep down they know things are not going right. Number 6, when you die, you go to heaven or hell. I know this kind of seems like a religious focus video, but I promise it isn't like that. This might be hard to hear, but the possibility of the afterlife might be likely unlikely. Don't get me wrong, it's worth keeping the adventure going. But the only thing we know for certain right now is that once you die, your brain powers off, your body starts to rust, your body is transformed into soil, and the worms and germs consume you as you regain your place in the natural order. Why is this important, and why do I want to talk about this? I have a different way of looking at life, which you, my viewers, might find very useful. We believe that this life, right here, that we have right now, can either be heaven or hell. If you play the game right, you can have heaven while you are alive. At the same time, we've seen people go through horrible things as a result of their own actions. Something that may be as close to hell as we may think of. It's your choice. Either you make heaven now or hope for the one afterlife. Now, before I end, I would like to leave you with my idea of hell. When you die, you might get to meet the person you might have become, and you'll realize how much more you could have been. Keep that in your mind as you go about your week. Welcome to the real world where you can reinvent yourself and can even start all over. I want you to think about this in the long run and think about the sacrifices you need to make to get there. Thank you all very much for watching. If you've subscribed to this channel already, I really appreciate. If you haven't, what are you waiting for? I remain your humble boy, TerryForch from the root. Please subscribe, share, like, and press the notification so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you very much and goodbye.